All right, tubers, Matt M. Roy back once again. Woo! What a day. You guys can probably see that my hair is a mess. Let me put this up a little bit. I am sweaty. That is sweat. Yes, that is not water. That is definitely sweat. We had a great day, Mom and I, of exercising. Took a 12-mile bike ride, and then we came home. I did my usual marching in place, and then we took another walk. Now, if you guys don't believe me, I'll show you guys what we actually did. Right in the top corner, 12.87 miles, and that was a bike ride, a little over an hour. I cannot believe that, guys. That was amazing. I am totally beat. I'm going to tell you about an issue that I had again. Haven't had this happen for a while. When Mom and I walked over to our local grocery store, on the way back, I started feeling really lethargic, and I'm like, oh boy, my blood sugar's dipping. So I limped back home. When I say I limped back home, I had absolutely no energy by the time I got home. And I knew that my blood sugar was down. Sure enough, I took my blood sugar was in the 70s. So I wound up drinking a Boost. I had a couple of those little mints, and now I'm sucking on an Atomic Fireball in an effort to raise my blood sugar back up. So again, if you guys are doing something similar to what I'm doing, the lifestyle change and all, make sure that you heed the warnings. If you're overdoing it, especially on the exercise, then your blood sugars can dip down. You need to make sure you increase your sugar intake, let's say. Oh, it's so good. I haven't had an Atomic Fireball in years. And for those of you that have never had one, you're really missing out. They're kind of hot, but it's a cinnamon hot. So basically you have a layer of there that's the hot cinnamon. Then another layer after a couple of minutes, it gets down to kind of a sweet layer. And then you have another layer of hot cinnamon. And then another layer of the sweet kind of I don't know, just sugary section, and it kind of layers on that. And as you get towards the bottom, it's not really hot anymore at all, but it's really good. I'm telling you, I love these Atomic Fireballs. Chipole says Atomic Fireballs are amazing. Used to love them, and lemon heads. I've never actually had a lemon head. A good friend of mine when I was young, his name was Peter. He used to love them, but I always went for the Fireballs. Yeah, talking about having not always good to have sweets, but sometimes you have to have sweets. And I've been overdoing my lifestyle change quite a bit recently. I say overdoing it because I've been dieting and increasing the exercising. So I have to be very careful that I don't have my blood sugar dip down too much, because it is no joke. I mean, if your blood sugar gets too low, you can feel lethargic, you can feel weak, and if it gets really low, you can actually faint. That I know people that's happened before, and unfortunately, there's really nothing to do other than eating some sugar, which you may not want to do, because then again, when you eat the sugar, you might gain weight back again. But that's the way it works when you run low on blood sugar. Yeah, Chris, I'm not sure how you guys rate your blood sugars there. My A1C on my last checkup was 5.0, so I'm not diabetic at all anymore. An A1C of 6.0 is borderline. An A1C of 6.5 or above, you'd be considered diabetic. So I'm not even close anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm actually closer to the hypoglycemic range versus the diabetic range. I see Eric Brunhammer. Oh, here we go. Eric says, I found out about my hypoglycemia by walking in the hospital once. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Hang on, let me spout this Fireball. That's kind of what they look like if you ever seen them. I'm not trying to gross you guys out, but that's kind of what they look like. You can see a little bit of red left there. Well, when you start with them, they're in completely red, and that's the cinnamon layer. Oh, so good, so good. So we got 17 watchers and 11 likes, 18 watchers. Awesome. I'm going to wait a few more minutes, see if we get a couple of more people, and then I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes of this particular live stream. See, did I miss anything? Yeah, he passed out. Hopefully, he didn't hurt anything that you use. Charlie Lipinski's here. He says, I'm thinking about buying a Macintosh SE for $75. Do it. They are highly collectible and they're going for some crazy money on eBay right now. If you can get a good working Macintosh SE for $75, do it. Definitely. Chris Barlow says, never seen these candies before. Now, you're in New Zealand, I think it is. You guys, I'm sure, have different candies than we do. I know that even like in England, they have some weird ones, like that Turkish Delight candy, stuff that we never get here at all. Reviews for noobs. Are you going to Busch Gardens for the roller coaster? Okay, I knew you guys are going to call me out on that. And I do fully intend to go on a roller coaster. The only problem is I can't do it right now because of my allergies are causing that eustachian tube problem on the side from my ear to my mouth. And if I went on a roller coaster right now, I could be in serious trouble. Like I could get my equilibrium thrown off so much to the point where I couldn't even stand. Probably going to be more towards the end of the summer, maybe the beginning of fall. We'll see. Maybe even for a hollow screen. That would be really cool. For those of you that don't know, Busch Gardens puts on a event every October called Hollow Scream, where they basically turn the park into like one giant fun house or one giant haunted house. But there's like a week or two before they open it up for that, where the park is still open and you can still see some of the real scary sights. Oh my goodness. My nose is running here. I should have grabbed some tissues before. Mark Covering said, hey, Matt, what can I do to control my blood pressure if I'm in no physical condition to exercise? The main cause of high blood pressure, other than being a genetic component, is salt. You want to stay away from foods that are high in sodium. So processed meats, a lot of sugary treats, kind of like the what's a good one? Like the Hostess Twinkies. A lot of that stuff has hidden salt in it. You want to stay more natural. Stick with like natural fruits and vegetables, maybe chicken that you make yourself and season yourself. But you want to stay away from the salt. The salt is kind of what raises your blood pressure up. And I have the same problem. Believe me, that's the one thing I haven't been able to lick yet is the high blood pressure. So I'm in the same boat as you, Mark. We'll tackle this one together. Charlie says if he buys it, he's going to sell it. Oh, that's a shame. That's a nice collector's item. If I was a Mac person, I would really be keen on buying that, the Macintosh SE, but I'm not. I'm a PC guy through and through. Steven says, I wish my mom says no more computers. I'm thinking of getting a Lenovo E73 small form factor. Well, there's a great option for you when you're overloaded with computers. Sell some. I do that all the time. You guys know my room, which I need to do a room tour again. I know that. My room is filled with computers. And when I get too many, I just sell them. I mean, you make a profit and you make room for new projects. To me, it's a win-win. Yeah, I got it, Charlie. I was just kidding. I know that you're going to sell it to someone else, but yeah, I get your point. Oh, hold on a sec, guys. Just got to answer this message real quick. Real quick. All right. So what do we got? 24 watchers and 12 likes. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right. I think we've gotten enough people here now that I can tell you guys what I want to tell you. Um, this week, Thursday, we are going to be heading up to basically where I grew up. Now, the first 15 years of my life, I grew up in a town called Kent, New York, which is in Putnam County. And if you guys have never heard of Putnam County or Kent, New York, I am not surprised. This is about an hour and a half out of the city in no place in particular. Now, it's next to Westchester County, which a lot of you guys probably have heard of. That houses the all of the cities and towns right outside New York City. So you got Yonkers, you have Mamaroneck, Tarrytown, which is like where the Tappan Zee Bridge is. And then about another half an hour, you got Putnam County, and that's where we used to live. So we're going to be heading up that way. And I'm going to be visiting a lot of my old stomping grounds and hopefully going to get some really good footage for you guys. This is kind of a treat for me because I don't get to go up there as much as I used to. And I have a lot of fond memories of my childhood up in that area. And I really miss certain things. Now, one thing in particular is going to the grocery stores there. ShopRite, I remember shopping with mom there as a kid all the time. We would go there, usually on a Friday afternoon. She'd pick me up from school. We'd go there. Visiting some of the old churches. It'll be a very interesting trip. And I am honestly not exactly sure what we're going to see, but it's going to be interesting. I am definitely going to do some vlogs, not just live streams, but we're talking about vlogs. And we'll just have to see what happens. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to be kind of impressed, I think, to see some of the really cool things that Carmel, Kent, and just Putnam County in general have to offer. Mike Peridon's here. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Stephen Barber says, I can't wait to see your video on those servers. Yes. If you guys haven't seen Eric Brunhammer's channel in a while, he had a very good haul himself. He picked up a whole bunch of computer equipment, some Dell Optiplexes, I think some servers, I think it was. And he's already put a couple of videos out, and I had a chance to peruse a few of them. I really haven't seen them beginning to end, but they're really cool. They're good deals to be had, and Eric's one of those wheeler dealers, kind of like I am. Uncle Corky says, Matt Emroy, when are you going to start lifting weights? I do lift weights, sir. Absolutely. I do free weights, 15 to 20 pounds, and yeah, it's definitely helped. I mean, this has definitely got some muscle on there. I still got to have something done about this. This is just to show you guys, this is how heavy I was. This was all filled in at one time. I mean, literally, that's how big my arm used to be. But I do have some good news on that subject. There is a very good chance that I am going to be getting skin removal surgery in the very near future. It's probably going to be covered by my insurance because it is deemed medically relevant, because not necessarily on my arms, but down near my abdomen, I have a lot of loose skin that kind of hinders me. Like when I walk, it flaps around a lot. Now, I don't know if it's going to be fully covered. Chances are they'll cover maybe 70 or 80% of it. I'm already talking with a plastic surgeon. So to cover the other 20%, I am going to be probably starting a GoFundMe page. And when that happens, I'll link that to the to my actual YouTube account, and hopefully I can raise enough to get it done, because honestly, that is really what's hindering me from walking. I mean, that's walking. Duh. I'm tired, guys, from running or jogging, because when I run, everything kind of just wiggles and jiggles, if you know what I mean. So if I could get that skin removed, and I am to that point where I need to get the skin removed, because that's pretty much all that's left here is loose skin, then I'd be in good shape. I could do pretty much anything and everything I wanted. 32 watchers, man, I think that's the most watches I've ever had at one time. 34, that is awesome. Chris Bartlett says he has a wobbly skin too. Scott Kearley said, Matt, that's what makes me nervous of losing weight. Well, with loose skin, I guess I don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You know, all kidding aside, don't let that hinder you from losing weight, because at the end of the day, your health is most important. And when you lose the weight, yes, you may have the loose skin, but you could do something like that. Set up a GoFundMe page. If you have medical insurance, any kind of medical insurance, any one of the major carriers, even Medicaid, I believe, from what I've heard, if it's deemed medically relevant, they will approve the skin removal surgery. Hostile Lemons, why is this in my notifications? I don't know. You were sent here for some reason. Maybe the man upstairs wants you to see this. Maybe, just maybe, you need to hear my message about losing weight, and maybe that's why you're here. I don't know. George E. Jeffrey says that procedure will be great for you. It will. Now, it is going to be painful. I've seen people that have gone through it before, and they all say it's going to be painful. There's going to be probably 2 to 3 weeks where you won't even want to be around me. I will probably have to have a drain or a shunt in my stomach to drain the excess fluid. Not meaning to gross anybody out. I hope nobody's eating dinner at the moment. But it will be worth it, definitely. Scott Keeley says, health is most important, but dieting happy is too. Do what makes you happy, because in the end, you'll die with a smile. Yeah, die with a smile, with a fork in one hand and tater tots in the other. But in all seriousness, you can take things to the extreme. And I have been the type of person that goes to extremes. Not just with dieting, but with food. I mean, when I was heavy, I was a extreme eater. Now I'm an extreme dieter, extreme exerciser. Excuse me, guys. I'll be right back. I need to get some water. I don't know. Some of your Gatorades. All right, everybody, I'm back. Oh, we lost a few people. Had to get something to drink. This is some of Mom's Gatorade, so I don't want to drink too much. This has sugar in it. Just enough to kind of cleanse the palate here. Hostile Lemons, there goes. I don't know why this is about, what this is about, but I hope you do well. I'm a twig, so I don't think that is relevant to me. Well, that's good. I used to really envy people that had that were thin, because you know what, it can be it is a blessing, because when you're thin you can do almost anything. And now that I've gotten to this point, I feel like I could do almost anything, and I hope you guys will get there too. My goodness, I can't keep up with these comments. Chris Barlow says sit-ups will fix that. Yeah, I tried doing sit-ups. They're all right. I mean, all right, let's try this. You guys can see I have still have a little spare tire there. Hopefully you guys can see me. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to try. Let's see. Nope. I swear. There, that's about what I can do. Now, if I had somebody holding my feet, I might be able to do some. Hey, Mom? Hey, Mom? Can you come here for a minute? I'm going to try to have her hold my feet. That way I may actually be able to do a sit-up. Okay, I need you to do me a favor. Come here. Don't look at me. Don't look at the camera. Hang on. She's got to fix her face a little bit. Let's see. Do we have any other comments? Chris Bartlett said, I used to go to the gym a lot and could do 20, no problem. Now, not even one. I think I'm in the same boat, but we're going to try it. Mom's going to hold my feet while I try to do some sit-ups here. And I think it's probably going to be best if we do it this way, or what do you think? We'll do it this way. Okay. All right. Mom's going to try to hold my feet here. And don't block the camera.
No, I can't.
All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.
That's better than I can do. Better than I can.
That's all I can do, Tubers. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Thank Mom for coming in. Oh. All right. Fixing this. So 5. And believe me, that's hard. And if she wasn't here to hold my feet, there's no way. I would never been able to do it. The XBS is like, God help me. Yeah, they saw me struggling there. But in all seriousness, I can probably do maybe 10 to 15 on my own with somebody. Well, I should say 10 to 15 with somebody holding my feet when I'm not tired. Like, I am really tired right now. You guys can't tell because I'm all hopped up on sugar at the moment. But yeah, I'm pretty darn tired right now. I was actually going to say if somebody gave me a super chat, I'd try to do another 10 or 15 of them, but I don't think I could, seriously. Uncle Corky says gyms have ab machines too. You can add weight. Yeah, I've seen those. I have a gym that I actually belong to a gym, which I don't usually go to. Yeah, I'm not a gym person, honestly. I don't like the atmosphere in there, even though I don't feel that bad about my body. Oh boy, Mark, somebody really wanted to see me do some more sit-ups. Well, how am I going to do this? Okay. Since I got the $2 super chat, we're going to try a few more here. I got to bring you guys back down. Okay. Mark, this is for you. I'm going to do as many as I can. I'm going to use the bed to hold my feet. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. 10. Whoo! All righty then. And that is it. You're welcome to send a super chat, but there is definitely not going to be any more sit-ups done by me tonight. Nick Roberts, I'll give you a $10 super chat if you do 50. Dude, save your money. There's no way. There's just no freaking way I'm going to be able to do 50 of them tonight. I appreciate your enthusiasm, though. Gunther 8544, it might be better to do half sit-ups. Good job on the 10. Yeah, I think you mean we call them crunches, which is basically where you sit up halfway and you just kind of hold there for a few seconds and then go back down. So you would get up, half, hold, and then go back down. And those are good. Believe it or not, those can be more beneficial than the actual sit-ups themselves, because when you hold it there, you're actually working your core longer, with your core being your actual stomach area here, not the chest, because when you do upper body, in other words, weights, that works your upper body. But when you do sit-ups and crunches, that works your stomach area or your abs. You know, those people that have those six-pack abs, that's what they have to do to get them usually. Yep. Man, I should have shaved. I'm just looking at myself in here. I didn't used to have to shave but maybe once or twice a month. Now I'm doing it like every week. I guess it's true, the old adage, the more you shave your hair, the faster and thicker it grows back. Chris Bartlett says, I need that to strengthen my back. Yeah, but you want to be careful. If you have back issues, you need to talk to your doctor before you start any kind of physical activity program. Walking, bike riding, running, jogging, strength training, core training, anything like that. Talk to your doctor first. Let them okay it. Before I started this lifestyle change, Mom and I both got physicals, and we had our doctors on board for this. So just fair warning to you, make sure that you do your due diligence and seek a professional opinion. Yeah. All right. Charlie Lipinski says, you have me blocked. Would you unblock? I don't think you're blocked. I'll have to look into that. I don't know how are you. I don't know if you're talking to me. If you're talking to me, oh, Steven. Okay. I'll say I don't block people unless they really piss me off. And nobody's really done that recently. Fingers crossed. Eric Brunhammer says, I have a bar at work that I will hang from and pull my knees up to my chests and either hold it or keep pulling them up like 10 or 15 times. Just kind of doing one of these jobs. I know you guys can't see my knees, but kind of like, oh, and he'd be moving his legs at the same time. That's good. That works everything. Your core, your legs, your upper body. No, I know I didn't say the F word. Nick Roberts has seen any good movies lately? Nothing new. I mean, every once in a while I'll put in Gremlins 2, the new batch, one of my favorites, but no, nothing really new. I actually did pick up, I don't think I showed you guys this. I might have, I don't remember. I picked up a Fire Stick. This is the remote for it. The Fire Stick's actually hooked up to that, my 43-inch Insignia Roku TV. And I've been watching a lot of Boston Legal on Amazon Prime. I love that series. James Spader, William Shatner, Candice Bergen. And I'll tell you something, even at her age now, beautiful, beautiful woman. Robert Jones asks, Matt, have you ever used M-Test 86? Yeah. Yeah, I've used M-Test in the past. It's one of my favorite programs for testing memory, and it's actually saved my bacon a few times, especially on the older HP pavilions, circa like mid 2000s, because they tended to suffer from failed memory modules. But I think a lot of that had to do with the motherboard sending too much current through the actual port and frying the memory. Because ask anybody, it is extremely rare to find a bad stick of memory. And a lot of times when they do test bad, it's not necessarily the memory that's bad. A lot of times it's the slot in the motherboard that's bad. Charlotte Pinsky said, send me a friend request on your account. You want to be friends with me. Okay. Who was saying about that? Blood sugar 255. Yeah, that's a little on the high side, but if you've just eaten, that can actually be normal. Right after you eat, your blood sugar can spike that high. Now, the problem is if 3-4 hours down the road it's still that high, then that's where you have an issue with something like diabetes. Theoretically, 4 hours after you eat, your blood sugar should be between 90 and 110. And if it is, then your pancreas and your endocrine system is working properly. Yeah, I know that every country uses a different rating system for blood sugar, pretty much all medical tests. And it makes it really hard to gauge who's actually got a good result versus who's got a bad result. I know. I just butchered that whole thing. I don't know. I'm pretty tired. We're gonna have to end this soon because if you guys haven't noticed it, I am really exhausted. Ruben says he installed Windows 7 Ultimate on one of the 15 HP compact 6710s. Again, I've never really. I gotta look that model up. Core 2 Duo error, was that a B? Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember these.
Yesterday I had to delete
our college used to give those out to the professors. And the reason they did those things were actually some beefy systems. I mean, you could pretty much do anything to those, and they would be fine. Chet Boulay says, thank you for fighting through the drowsiness and chatting with us for a while. Always good to hear from you, Matt. Well, thank you. I always try to. I'm telling you, there are days. I have my days where I'd rather just rest and do nothing. But I know that you guys rely on some of this information, and I try to get it out there as quickly as possible. Jonathan Grindle asks, any idea where I can get cheap Dell Optiplex parts from? eBay. If eBay's not cheap enough from you, check the if you have a Goodwill near you, chances are you'll probably have one of the Goodwill distribution centers, and a lot of them have a computer center in there, and their parts are really, really fairly priced. They're not necessarily cheap, but they're cheaper than what you could get them for like on Amazon or eBay. Other than that, check your thrift stores and garage sales. I mean, that's where I get a lot of my stuff. Scott Keeley goes, Optiplex series, only thing that's not standard is the fan connectors. Absolutely. And the fans either. Because even if you find a fan that uses that weird connector, if it's because HP and Dell actually used to use the same style connectors. But if you put an HP fan in a Dell computer and vice versa, the computer's going to complain and say it can't find the fan because one of those pins sends a signal from the motherboard, or from the fan to the motherboard, saying that yes, this is the right Dell proprietary fan. So, yeah, that's one thing that I don't like. That they did not have to do that. They could have used a standard 3 or 4 pin fan that you could put in any computer case and just called it quits. But the reason they do that is because they can make more money selling you parts when that fan fails. And believe me, at some point, that fan's going to fail. Chipotle, have a quick question for you, Matt. What are your top 3 go-to foods to eat for a quick snack? I like to know your top 3 then and now, i.e. before your journey and now. Well, let's see. Before my journey, I used to eat a lot of chocolate-covered granola bars. I used to eat a lot of the Hostess zingers, which are basically like these raspberry-covered pastries. They were raspberry and coconut, and in the middle was like a frosting. Oh, those were so good. And the French crullers from Dunkin' Donuts. As for now, I honestly don't eat a lot of snacks. If I do have a snack, every once in a while I'll have like a cinnamon roll, like one I get from Dollar Tree, but I've been very careful to make sure that I get ones that do not have the high fructose corn syrup. If I do have a snack nowadays, I'll tell you one thing I love to do. I take fresh strawberries and I put whipped cream on top, and I put a tiny bit of caramel sauce, and I mix it together, and to me that's delicious, and that's healthy too. You get the whipped cream. Now you get the whipped cream that comes in the aerosol cans, because that doesn't have a lot of what is it? That one doesn't have a lot of oil in it. It's real cream, like it's real half and half that they put in there. You wanted 3. What else can I say that I eat? I mean, if I'm really peckish and I want something really quick, I make that 15 bean soup, and I keep that in the refrigerator in like one of those Rubbermaid containers, and I could throw that in the microwave for like 3 minutes, and that'd be a little snack. I put it in a little it's not little, it's a big coffee mug, and to me that's really good. Gunther 8544 says apples and peanut butter is my go-to snack. Oh, I loved apples. I can't eat them now, unfortunately, with my teeth. I got bad teeth, guys. I'm telling you. And peanut butter, yeah, I'll do peanut butter. Now, you got to be careful when you do eat peanut butter. You need to make sure you eat the natural peanut butter, because if you eat the regular peanut butter, like the Jif or the Skippy, the regular stuff that most people eat, it is jam-packed with granulated sugar, basically the bad sugar. Whereas if you get the natural stuff, even you don't have to get the natural stuff where you open it up and you have to stir it and mix the oil and the peanuts together. You can get what they call semi-natural, which I think Jif puts one out, and so does Walmart. But basically what it is it doesn't have any of the hydrogenated oils and or the processed sugar that regular peanut butter has. You know what, tubers? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to end it here. I am losing steam. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. I appreciate that $2 super chat from Mark Covington. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.